I'm definitely ready. So right off the bat, we have somebody who we weren't really expecting to be in top 8 today.
Yeah, I know, right? We got Henryson. That's not the one we weren't expecting because this man said that he came for the week. He said that's why he's here. He didn't want to go over to the CPT event that just finished and gatekeep. He said he wanted to come down here and get free money. And this is looking to be one of his first victims in top 8, the man with the Atlanta hat, Arsenal. How in the world did Arsenal make top 8? I'm
not sure. I mean, on the one hand, you see this guy everywhere. When you go to your Atlanta locals, you're going to see him skulking around, playing Street Fighter. Today, he managed to break into that mythical top 8. And if you know him, he's a local guy. He plays Kolin, and he also plays Sakura.
No, he just plays Kolin. We ain't worried about that other character.
Well, I know GoldenCen over here is not worried about that other character.
Right.
So, yeah, he's kind of a dark horse here. Like, while he's not unskilled, he's not who we were expecting to break through the top 8. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does against Henryson.
Yeah, just like I can't get over this. I can't say this enough. Seeing him in top 8 alone is kind of interesting. But top 8 winners.
Top 8 winners.
This is going to be one of the biggest tests in Arsenal's career so far, seeing if he can somehow topple GoldenCen and move on to winners finals.
And he's going to go with the Kolin pick, V-Trigger 2.
Yeah, everything you can ask for from a Kolin.
So you're seeing him. Kolin probably has a lot of potential to poke the limbs, to kind of suffocate Dhalsim with a little bit of her pressure, especially when she gets up close with the standing fierce.
Got to worry about the counters in the V skill as well, so she has ways to keep them in check and charge him when she sees the green light. Excuse me. And I'm liking the idea of getting off the carpet, still getting singed on the ends of the heels. No big deal so far.
He didn't take a big loss from it, so at the end, Cen keeps his composure, so does Arsenal.
But there we go. V-trigger activation.
We got our ice skates on.
Yeah, it was good to not tech, so you don't have to deal with too much of the pressure. But still, parabellum for the knockdown. Where do we go?
Simple meaty. Throw, stick throw. All right. Still got plenty of that V-gauge left.
And just using the carpet to make it a bad idea for Arsenal to try to leave Yoga. Gale, Yoga Sniper, not enough, but there's no punish.
Oh, well, he did get a punish.
Okay. I was thinking he would take a silver edge on it or anything. He would have took any big punish, he would have got the round right there.
That's right.
Leaving it on the table, Henryson will gladly take the first shot.
A little back and forth there, but yeah, Cen takes it. And we're kind of back to this Sim rush down. Arsenal hasn't shown like a real strong answer to it. Of course.
You want it.
That's what I wanted.
No, sir. One of the sad things to see from a Sim going to his critical art and just getting it snatched away from him, getting thrown off of the carpet as well. Things are looking really good for Arsenal here in round 2.
Yeah, Arsenal was just content to sit on that carpet and just toss him around.
But he gets another one.
All right. But hey, he has one too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot unsafe on hit.
Especially at that range, and Arsenal will gladly take round 2 into his cuffs. All right, he's looking for the anti-air there, couldn't find anything with it.
Looking for the counter as well.
Yeah, he's just a little too gung-ho coming off of that win. You know, he need to slow his roll a little bit before something like that happens. It's not the most damaging crush counter, but Sim will take any nickel and dime you'll give him. Gale again.
Yeah, it's like Sim kind of caught on to him fishing for the counters. Oh, wow.
Bruh. Yo, he just spit that hot fire in his face, unchecked, and it gets him the game. Perfection.
It feels like Arsenal here doesn't really have a lot of experience with Sim, like especially given that first round where Sim was hanging in the air for about an hour.
Right.
So like one of the big things you're gonna understand about Sim, if he whiffs a button in the air, you know he's open to pretty much a full screen punish for by most of the cast.
And maybe that is why we see Henryson here at DreamHack Atlanta with his first game, looking to prey on the weak.
All right.
Ooh, staying in the front side with the big fierce. Jump mid kick.
Cen is just kind of working in from both sides. Kind of just with no real answer. And he's kind of scared him off that counter that he was using before.
Right.
It's kind of one of those concepts where, like, even though your opponent can bait it out, you got to kind of still present it if it works to a degree.
Right.
So if Cen realizes that counter's not coming, well, there he goes. It's like he's listening to me.
But one is not going to be enough to really deter Cen off of this game, because here we go again, making a little more space, but try to get away from the V skill, no good. Ooh. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't even looking for the hail, but he'll gladly take the bonus. Good check. Because that was a pretty high dive kick. You know, don't want to let him have too much for free.
Of course. So he gets into the V trigger. Ooh, interesting mix-up. No follow-up there.
You know, the bravery from Cen, because, I mean, he has the carpet, you know the pressure's on, but still, going in the corner could be kind of dangerous. But he knows, again, Arsenal's not looking for that. He's pretty sure that he wants to stay on the front side. I'm pretty sure that we're going to game 3.
Yep, it was pretty clean to it. Like, Arsenal has his moment, but for the most part, Cen is just kind of dictating the pace. He sees a lot of stuff that he's kind of allowed to do that probably shouldn't be allowed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And then even on the other end of the spectrum, if Arsenal's paying so much respect, we have not seen the explosiveness of a Kolin V-Trigger 2 so far.
Nah. You see him kind of get in, run a mix-up, but no real, like, the terror that has Kolin been bringing upon players since.
Right. But even though we're even in game 3, here we go with our V-Trigger. I want to say this is the second one we've had in the set. See if we get a little more magic. The delay, I like that because he's been going for the tick throw quite a few times. Oh, he's getting burned. Like, I honestly wish I had a stat for, like, how much success Cen has had on the carpet. Like, just getting a little bit of white life is good enough, but he seems to find a hit on it time and time again. And he only needs one more to get out of this with a clean 6 rounds.
All right, Arsenal. So, his pressure's not necessarily bad. It just feels like his ultimate execution of it kind of fails, and he doesn't really reap the rewards for some of the decisions he makes.
Yeah, you want to talk about questionable decisions. He wanted to get out of the fire, but how far can he get? Putting himself in the corner after the critical art, taking a throw, not enough for the stun, but Cen doesn't really care too much where he throws him because he feels control again. Until that happens.
But it feels like even when Cen is losing, he's not really losing.
I don't know. This might be the first round. Have to use the B reversal just to get a little bit of space. Clip the slide, and there we go.
That was that was very precise. Good stuff by Arsenal to take his first round of the set.
He ain't getting no round brown, man.
That game's over.
Yeah. But this one somehow is still going on for Arsenal as he finds another V skill.
Yeah, Cen's still just kind of bullying with that V skill fierce quite a bit.
Tried to respond, tried to react. I thought we fixed the frame for that, man. Or maybe Cen's not fast enough?
Maybe he's not fast enough.
Tried it again. Slapped on the wrist this time, though. Yeah, and Arsenal kind of realized he was asleep at the wheel, tried to get this done, and he eventually finds it. Gets the game. Yes, sir.
So we finally awake. Is this it?
It might be.
You know, sometimes it takes people a few games. Luckily, we got first to 3 in these top 8.
And while he might have started off looking like one of the weak in our winner side, Arsenal has grown enough strength to fend off 1 game, but he still needs 2 to stay afloat. And yeah, the beginning of game 4, not the greatest for him.
All right, tried to check the drill. Unfortunately, couldn't quite make it.
14 seconds in, already has his B trigger. That's not really a good sign. Good counter, though.
Hey, sometimes you gotta work with what you got. All right.
And I'm assuming Henry was looking to tech the throw there, which is why he ate the hail.
That was a very bold slide, but of course he had his V-trigger up. That's the kind of thing you need to look for with Cen in the corner, especially.
A little too eager to try to keep Arsenal off of him. Saw the double dash throw. In fact, he probably didn't even see it. He was just taking the throw because he was in the face.
Yeah.
Arsenal a little too gung-ho, looking for 2, gets thrown to his last possible round. And yeah, you see a little bravery coming out of Arsenal, but he needs to do more from like 1 character length away, throw more roundhouses and some pierces just to keep Henry honest. And Cen's moving around a little more, sticking more limbs out there, going for big plays like so. Yet he still gets the hit.
Yeah, that was very interesting. What should have been in Arsenal's favor turned out to be his Cen's favor.
Oh my word, but he's still in it. Finds the empty jump low forward. What do we have with the V trigger?
Goes for the reset.
Front side again, and that's the stun.
All right.
Okay.
So Arsenal's not out of it yet. He's struggling a little bit in neutral, but when he gets in, you notice that he's getting a lot of the jabs off. He's managed to get to these combos. It's just You know, he has to get better at keeping his momentum up.
Right. Getting stuffed by the stand mid kick again. Another one of your favorites. V-skill Fierce to the dome piece. Ooh, Aaron sweep goes unchecked, unpunished.
Well, he has his V-trigger up. It's pretty early, and he has a pretty good, decent health.
Yeah, well, he gets beat up in the beginning every time. But the problem is, unlike the last round, he's not getting that early activation. So he's lost a decent amount of damage with it. Still gets that big EX, and EX is like a third of your life. Yeah,
this is a very good move.
Really? Again? Fool me once in a but he took the rifle out of his hand. The man who said he came to snipe all of the players in top 8 just got the rifle ripped out of his hand with the counter. Yo, my man, Arsenal.
I like that he's checking Sin with that over and over again. Just let him know that that's not free.
Exactly.
So Arsenal ties it up too. Like, he saw somebody who was pretty much looking down and out.
Yeah.
Just brought it to the last set.
I would dare say the first 2 games he looked like he didn't belong here, but here we are in game 5. Ready for the V-skill this time, not pressing too many buttons. Trying to get this done, but he's not going to find it. Not just yet, but the back row.
Yeah, he seems to like lose out a lot in his own pressure situations is what I'm finding. All right, there we go. Using the V-skill, the forward medium punch.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to go for another overhead, man.
Oh. Hey, I wouldn't have faltered for it. Again, he's forcing him off his own V-trigger, which is something that's been killing him a lot during that set, so that's only good for him.
That is true. We haven't seen the yoga carpet in quite some time, and we're not going to see it in this one if we see another V-reversal coming out. But the kick!
Now, that was actually pretty brave considering what's been happening with that counter.
But still, bravado is something that'll lead you to the end. The Sen is 1 round away again from winning final. But the last time we saw it here, he wasn't successful.
Yeah, he's been getting, quite a bit of successful V-skills off some of those posts. So I'm glad he's presenting that threat there for Sen.
Right. Well, they both almost have their V-triggers one more time. Sen, if he finds the hit, well, if he gets a crush counter, that's one way to get it. So yeah, Arsenal's got to be a little careful coming in.
Yeah, feels like he's really gun shy of his own V-trigger, which I think is ultimately what's hurting him here.
And he's not going to be able to be away from this. Gets hot flame spit down his throat one more time as the Yoga Gale is the key to winners finals for Henry Sen.
Yep. Oh, we talked about how Arsenal was questionable at best at being in top 8, but he showed that he was fairly confident, and he earned his place in top 8, in my opinion.
He earned it for now, but sadly he's not going to be the one to move on. Like you saw on the camera, NLBC's own GoldenCen is trying to make good on his word. Found his first victim and is going to be looking to see who he has to fight between the two coming up on stage. Now, our other winner semis match is going to be the runner-up from last year, Ice Effect, with this Laura, the only character he knows, going against one of the Florida boys. And Florida's feeling pretty good in Street Fighter right now. I heard they just took a premiere. Yeah. Took the last chance qualifier. And this man was so psyched to see that happen. Pun slightly intended, because that is the Sycho Necalli. First time we've seen him on the stream. Well,
maybe that win by CJ Truth is going to give him a morale boost. It's like, I got to bring home the bacon from DreamHack.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to see how prepared he is to survive the mix-up of Laura, because he didn't really sit and warm up too much. Ice Effect, when he got in after finding his parking, let's be real, parking is terrible. Ice Effect spent a good amount of time prepping his mix-up, prepping his execution, and making sure he was firing on all cylinders. Sycho, on the other hand, was very invested in the CPT, so he sat for like a good hour or so just hawking over the stream. So I'm wondering if his head is really in the game right now.
I guess we'll see. And there's another aspect of this that we don't really think about is no one in the Atlanta scene really plays Necalli. There's no real high-level Necalli.
There's no Necalli at all. You don't even have to say high. There's no high. There's no low.
I mean, when I talk about them, they always name people who come out occasionally who have a Necalli, but I gotta put the asterisk high level just so you don't give me the technically people.
Right.
So,
and on the other part of that as well, like, not even just online, because Ice Effect, or offline, excuse me, because Ice Effect is a big online player. He's a big net warrior, and a lot of the old-hearted Necalli players have been getting off of the character lately. They've been saying that his neutral is not the best. some of you may disagree, but are you the Necalli player? And so you don't see as many as you did in Season 1 and Season 2. So maybe he has like no way to be really fresh on the matchup.
Makes sense. He's rolling with a V-Trigger too. I mean, I don't know how many people have been seeing this on stream lately.
Whoa. Who's doing V-Trigger too?
Sycho.
Okay. I kind of felt like you were implying SFV wasn't. That was about to be the biggest question mark ever.
All right, typical SFV. He's going in with his pokes. He's using it to set the pace for his own rhythm.
Oh, man, you want to say it's setting the pace. Went a little too deep with the command throw there, but getting some information knowing that Sycho is awake and well aware of the situation at hand. Catching him trying to move.
All right. That EXDP, haven't seen it so long.
Yeah.
Gets punished for the whiff V skill, and here we go.
There you go. Get your hands off of your buttons.
So, you know, he might be a little cold, but hey, at least he has the first 3 to warm up.
Right.
Not ideal, of course.
Looking to find a couple of side modes and try to get some early V-trigger action going. Nice crouch, strong.
Yeah, I like how Sycho's trying to assert kind of some dominance there in that mid-range.
Ready for it. Good looks.
All right. Necalli has Aura in the corner.
Ooh. Yeah, both people going for command throws. Neither one of them finding the mark so far in the set.
Yeah, the command throw is pretty risky considering he had the life lead in the corner.
Exactly. And with him using his V-reversal, he's probably not going to see his V-trigger. He doesn't even need it. Not this game. Not this round.
That's it. All right. Got a little too happy with that.
With the thunderclap?
With that thunderclap.
Yeah. Didn't think that Sycho would make the big investment just to see round 3, but surprise, we don't need that.
That's the sacrifices you got to make to see tomorrow sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, he wasn't a believer in that. Yo, he had the big beefy strong. He was like, I don't need this. Look. Again, he's like, he's trying to see where Sycho is. He's seen him moving a couple times, caught him with the strong, but he really wants to get the command throw. He's probably going to save it for the end of the game.
All right, nice block overhead punish. Now the momentum switch shifting in Sycho's favor, right?
Nice.
Yeah, I like how Sycho's just kind of sitting there. He's pouring his pressure on a short burst and not getting himself in too deep.
Right.
All right, but he's finally activated that V-trigger for the first time in the set.
With another dash. And they've been playing like so far and just meeting each other to gates time and time again. And throughout that round, Sycho has just been consistently first on the draw. He hasn't always found the hit. There's been a couple times that SFV would let him go first and then counter poke, but Sycho has been beating him to the punch with the reaction time and time again. So that's something to really pay attention to as we get further into the set.
Makes sense. And then you see a lot of kind of mirrored action because a lot of these characters kind of operate very similar in some regards at that range.
Right. Well, with that, we're going to slow the pace a little bit. See if we can get calm, get cool as we're here on stage. We ain't switching characters. Well, not SFV.
He might be switching. He might be switching costumes. You know? Maybe needs a different color.
I don't even think he uses different costumes. Like I want to say it's like P1, P2 Laura. That's all he's ever known.
Yeah, I think I've never seen him use anything but those 2 colors. Very basic. All right, I think he just needed to change the pace to relax a bit. Think about what he may have did wrong.
What did he do wrong? He got hit. Hit him more than he hits you. So with that being said, at the start of game 2, just a couple of quick exchanges. Just fairly even, but Sycho's trying to run away with it. V-skill as well, just to get a little bit more gauge.
There you go. Hit it that time. He has quite a bit of health left, and he's got a pretty decent amount of V-gauge at this point.
He's much more accurate with the size modes this time around. And he sneaks in the good old command throw. Here we are in the corner. What's up?
All right. Just goes ahead and ends that pressure with V-skill.
Spark show. Yeah, and he's okay to throw it this time. There's no critical heart to meet him, and he thought he had the anti-air.
I'm surprised SFV hasn't noticed the fact that he almost always jumps away from the fireball.
Right. But I mean, on the other end, he probably hasn't noticed it because he hasn't been getting jumped on, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's okay with him jumping away. Sure, he'd love to put the like a low forward on him and keep him in check, but as long as he's not losing a third of his life for it, it's not the hugest concern of yet. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Good sweep. And see, it's another one of those scenarios. I'm thinking at some point in time, Sycho's just going to live up to his name and jump at him and call him out for that. But even with jumping away, he's holding on to his spacing and setting himself for situations like this. And yeah, I expect don't even want to bother with this anymore. Try to give him the good old NRS. Now you got to sit there and take your lumps like a man. You got to take your 2-0 like a man. And you got to see if you can rise up and get on the board. Because right now, Sycho is literally murdering him. It's not good.
I suspect being a huge fan of the Atlanta sports team, you know, he's got his Falcons out here putting in work. You can't let them down, man. You got to rise up, too.
It's not looking good right now. It's looking like Florida's day in Street Fighter right now, but let's see if we can get an answer out of Ice Effect. That right there, taking a good old stand forward, it's not a good start. And a jab, it's kind of interesting, because Sycho's been really good with his anti-airs, but he's been anti-airing with DPs. That time he just took a jab, just for a different change of pace, I guess, or maybe he wasn't as prepared, but still paying attention.
Yeah, that's the big thing, and that's, I think, ultimately what's putting him over the top here. There you go. He's starting to check that jump back now.
Right. Yeah, good looks. Took out the ankles, come in with a big beefy fierce. Where are you going? You can smell the fear coming off of Ice Effect, trying to scurry his way out of the corner. Can't get out for free, teching to stay alive.
All right, we got the Fierce Target combo on deck.
But he didn't take the V-trigger. Ooh. There it is. That's what he was saving for, quote unquote. Luckily, he had something left in the tank to get the punish on the critical art. And that's such a big punish because above all else, what does Sycho have here in round 2?
Well, he did kind of show his, show himself true to his namesake there. All right, using that dive kick to throw off his air timing.
Second time he's gone to it, I believe.
All right. Ooh. One of the few anti-airs he's missed there.
Yeah.
Ice Effect takes advantage.
Well, we get the space one more time. And the side moves as well. And he's not really, well, I wanted to say he's not really looking for the side moves. He's fading back, thinking about it because he wants his V-trigger one more time. He's been really good with it. Wasn't able to close out last round, but he's gotten so much damage off the back of it.
Ice Effect with his patented crouch forward approach.
Guess who's here? Oh, but he missed it first. Still okay. Yeah, here we go. Classic Ice Effect. Thinks he can take this without the need of the spark show. Finds an EX elbow. Where are we going for the mix? Stepping in, throw. And I like that he didn't go for the command throw this time, leaving him a little room for error.
Ooh, that was a very particular anti-air.
Yeah. And I don't think he actually wanted that. Gets one more time and a wake-up jab. Slapped him in the mouth and slapped one game on the board. Good looks.
Got throwback to real meaty setups.
Still don't have a trademark for that, even in season 3.
So, like you said, Ice Effect finally on the board. Let's see what Sycho has in response.
That's a little too far for you to walk. Getting slapped in the shin for your efforts. Trip to the corner as well. Watch your feet.
Oh, this walks out of throw range perfectly.
The mobility.
Yeah, they're just kind of slapping buttons at each other, see who falls first.
There we go. First time we've seen one of those in a while. But nothing really doing afterwards. I mean, that's one of the things that's changed with Laura over the seasons, where that used to be free mix for days, but now it's just one and done. Unless you let it go unchecked.
Well, Sycho with some command throw of his own. But manages to get out of the situation pretty nice.
How many times has he found the low forward V-trigger? Stuffs the Volti dash. Good stand forward, good round for Sycho. But no, seriously, like every time I look up and he's got them 3 red bars, he's looking for Ice Effect's toes, and he's found them time and time again.
Yeah. Right. Now you notice what Sycho's doing here. He does a lot of readjusting, similar to what Ice Effect is doing.
Right. He doesn't like to sit in his face any longer than he needs to, so he's perfectly content to going back, knowing that he can play the Seismo game if he needs to, but I think he's going to push the issue right now. Staying in his face with this top. Missed the jab. I wish he'd go back to the DP. Like, there's nothing Lord's gonna do to okay, my bad.
But I suspect decided he didn't want to win that after all.
Jeez.
I guess he didn't want to show up the Falcons. So congrats to Florida's Sycho for putting that 3-1 in. Gonna advance to grand finals to fight GoldenCen.
Winners finals.
Winners finals, excuse me.
Yeah, you gotta slow your roll, man. Slow your roll. We still got a lot of street fighting.
We got a lot more matches. I apologize for the folks at home who panicked. So we got the Savior.
One of the heavenly figures that has been dropped down to the bracket of alternative success. His hat says trash, but he is actually that man, Jesus. And he is going to be squared up against the leader of the Do-Rag Dynasty, Magnegro.
Magnegro, somebody who's been doing pretty well lately. You've seen him place a lot. Played well, especially in the last qualifying event we had here in Atlanta.
Right.
So he's got something to prove, and I'm thinking he's looking to take this whole thing. He managed to get dropped in the losers by Sin, but
yeah, pretty tight set yesterday.
But he's going to be my pick for grand finals. But the FGCJesus, he got a lot to say about that.
He's one that's been questioned time and time again, hailing with the title of one of the strongest, if not the strongest Fang in America. There's a couple of characters that he's been messing around with, won't go to him. Like, yeah, he has an Abigail, he's messed with it time and time again, but money's on the line, prestige is on the line. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Fang throughout this entire set. But the thing about Mag, and I can't stress this enough when I see him, he is what I call the poster child of Street Fighter V. When we looked at the games that came out, and everybody's like, this is a real matchup heavy game. This is a time where you need more than one character. And he has 3, arguably 5 at his disposal. Yeah. Yesterday, we saw him starting off and playing a lot of Sin, and I'm thinking by the looks of this, he's going back to his roots and going to the Birdman.
Yep, Birdie has the long-range tools to check what Fang would like to do to get started. So if he can just kind of put a stop to that right away, it's going to probably frustrate Jesus quite a bit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we saw this setup. I know we were talking about him at the Conquest. Did we see this match? I feel like we did.
I think we did, yeah.
Well, even if we question it, we are seeing it for fact live here now at DreamHack Atlanta, giving you Loser's Ace. Is the big purple man trying to see if he can get a hit, knock the gunk off. Bullhead is a good start. Bullhorn, excuse me. That is that. I'll get the name of it right someday. Some bull that's being thrown on the street.
This is that meaty throw.
Yeah, and that's one of the sad things you see, like when you go for your throw, miss it, defender takes a defensive throw and gets the side swap for it. One thing that's looking so good for Jesus.
Yeah, I like how you add that poison cloud up to stop the V-trigger activation.
And the thing I like more than that was ready for the Revenger, jumped away from the Dolphin Dive, put the happy feet on there, and got the first round.
Jesus looking good in this set so far.
Ooh, wasn't ready for the cannon monster in the street. Yo, get back. Just let a fierce rip from right there. Okay.
Oh, almost a big punish on that, but he gets a command throw. What we got in the corner?
Well met.
So typical Birdie pressure here. Catches him trying to sweep his way out of the corner. Seems like it's a really go-to move when he wants to get out of pressure.
I'm surprised he hasn't gone to a V reversal yet, needing this right here just to get a comeback. But still, we're talking about a Fang comeback. It's a tall order even for the likes of Jesus.
It is. And Magnegro has no reason not to put that can down whenever he throws those.
Just looking through the hanging chain and getting punished for it. Protecting to stay alive. Jab's not enough. Gets the punish on the sleeve.
Staying strong to carry.
Oh, man. I heard it's a pretty good bite.
Some people say that. All right. Tie it up.
Mag thought he was going to show a little bit of the wit, knowing that the V-skill clearly doesn't have hit stun to it. But Jesus checking, make sure he didn't walk behind it for free.
All right, dropping that can. Yeah, Fang has a pretty floaty jump. And given one of the best anti-air characters in the game.
Right.
Ooh, just snatches him out of that V-reversal.
But he wasn't so sure about it, because, I mean, if he knew for a fact that he was going to catch it, he would have threw him back into the corner. Went for the Revenger again, can't find anything. We're still okay.
He takes those trades.
Whoa! Yeah, I know. I thought that was right on top of him, but just a pixel away.
Gets the jump in.
Ah, yes, yes.
What up, Jesus?
A little too much traffic in Mag's face. Can't get away from the poison. Can't get away from Jesus. It's his day. It is his day.
His day.
Round 1.
Sadly, well, I say sadly, but he will indeed need 2 more to move on in the servicer. If we get 3 from Magnegro, church might be over early.
It just might be. So Magnegro is focusing on taking beneficial trades in this situation.
And he's got the help for it.
Yeah, he does.
But he's got to trade, though. And he's not going to get in the air not too many times because Jesus has been very accurate with his crowd spheres anytime he's been going to the skies.
Using that rear bender just to kind of obstruct him and take up his time so the can is not, by the time the can gets there, it's not where Magnegro can take advantage of it.
Right, right.
All right, here we go.
He's ready for it this time. Doesn't want to throw, wants a whole lot more. Strong down to the V-trigger activation and a corner trip as well.
Yeah. I would say not a bad trade, but it got Jesus out of the corner.
But at what cost? Got met with that big belly and head one more time, and the Kennedy wasn't ready.
I thought the conversion was coming, but it may be, when in doubt, all right.
All right. Even at the cost of 2 meter, whatever it takes to get the round, that is the slogan of the Do-Rag Dynasty. Nah, that's too close, can't have that. And where you going?
Just walk down the back dash.
Ooh, staying in the front side.
So that coward crowd can get under that jump lane.
I question the command dash because, I mean, he had made so much space with those 2 sequences. I don't really think he needed a spot side. It's a little too eager for him. As witty as that look, he couldn't really get anything from him, too much of the recovery.
All right.
Sleep at the wheel. One more guess. Teching to stay alive. But
yeah, Jesus was looking for that V-trigger really hard.
Yeah.
Magnegro got sniffed it out.
Seen that sequence quite a few times where we have Jesus in the corner looking for a Hail Mary and going to the sweep for whatever reason. Just a good old jump mid-kick over the top. Seal the deal.
All right. Evened up on games. Yeah, these trades are definitely benefiting Magnegro the most.
Right, right. Sliding away from the up ball as well. Big punish, yep. Corner game, what's happening? No, don't go anywhere. One more for the stun, there it is.
It's like Magnegro took all the information from the previous 2 games. It's like, here's what I'm gonna do now.
Right. Literally walked him into the corner, walked all over him with the overhead, and walked straight into round 2.
All right, though. Jesus not to be deterred. Doing anything he can to keep Magnegro in that corner.
It was lucky of him to get the jab out in time because that would have been so much trouble. Oh, little too overactive for Mag.
Yeah, you got to be careful with throwing those in Birdie's face.
Right, right.
All right, here we go. All right, poison saves him.
I don't think he's hit a dolphin dive the entire set. But I like the idea of him constantly presenting it. Like, maybe he will find one, but so far he's like 0 for 4 or something like that. Like, that's something that Jesus is not going to let him have for free. Not looking for the fierce, got that stuff, not having any of that.
Oh, slightly misgates the forehead.
Just taking the short just to stop the poison, because that's something we really haven't touched on. I mean, everybody knows that is the gimmick of Fang, the poison damage, but
yeah,
Mag has been purple for a good part of the set.
It doesn't really seem to bother him overall.
I mean, he knows it's going to happen, but there has been like long periods of time where he's just lost so much health to him. We just hasn't really set in because there hasn't been the big booming hits or anything, you know?
Yeah.
Woo! Wake up, instant overhead.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting that. So he puts him up 2-1.
That man Jesus, he came to Sunday, came to save Jesus.
Round 1.
Trying to see if we can get ourselves another service here. And I would believe if he can pull this off, I could somewhat call it an upset, because I wouldn't think that this would go Jesus' way, but he's looking pretty good.
I mean, there's a lot of unexpected stuff happening in this tournament.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me. Nice bit punished with the sleeves.
Buying more time as well before he finally gets hit. V-trigger activation. Big carry to the corner. But off the mark. Wasn't ready for the tech. Probably looking for a back tech. Wasn't ready at all.
Oh, wow.
And he thought he got out for free with Jesus trying to take the corner. Didn't have anything charged behind that as well. Got to clean up a little bit. Luckily gets the strong to keep him in front, gets his hands on him, gets the throw, and gets around.
Yeah, you're starting to see just like a slight hint of desperation in some of Magnegro's tactics, but they're hitting the mark.
You say desperation, I say some slop as well. Because, I mean, he hit a couple of the strongs and he had nothing behind him whatsoever. First one is understandable, but the second one, you got to be ready for it.
That's true.
Whew, big gutsy back dab leading to the crush counter. He's lucky that had 2 hits.
All right, goes ahead and burns the V-trigger.
Out of range.
Yeah, Magnegro right now is just kind of weathering the storm. He's just content not to take any damage. And now Fang's V-trigger's run out. And now Jesus is going to have to make this corner pressure work.
Taking the corner away from him. Sadly, we're getting another fierce, putting him on the deck. No Annie here because there's nothing he can really do from that range. Caught him trying to press the button. And with the stand forward, Jesus is 1 round away from a pretty solid upset and moving to losers quarters. Setting up the obstacle course one more time, firing from counter crouch. And a throw. No answers from Magnegro at all. Trying to dive in. Yeah, desperate times, clearly.
Yeah, you can just kind of tell Magnegro kind of lost focus and he's just trying to get something to work.
And Jesus has an answer for everything. Every time he's gone up to the sky, he's been stuffed down. He finally gets his V-trigger, but how much life is gone? Like, almost all of it.
And even then, he's like, you kind of, it just feels like at this point, Magnegro's is kind of like opposite of himself. The bull in the China shop Birdie.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I would think that it was going to come out of desperation. There's a critical arm for a combo, but that's not enough to get him out of the round. He needs one more. What does he take? Wasn't ready for the command dash, and here we go in neutral one more time. Can he survive the gauntlet? Good tech. Whoa!
Thread the needle there.
Blew his kneecap out. Gets another one.
So FGCJesus had that V-trigger loaded up, and I guess he felt he had to fire. Well, Magnegro managed to get his composure back at just the right time.
I don't know how in the world he found the first bullhead.
I don't either. It was by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
I think when he hit that super, though, I think that's when he cleared his mind. At least that's what it felt like from my end.
Well, Jesus shoves everything back into order with the fierce to start this off. And before I can even finish that sentence, we have the stun. Bruh,
he is almost dead.
I thought he was. There it is, another instant overhand. Jeez.
Jesus saves.
No, he wasn't too happy about that last game.
Okay. He's using that version of the poison shot to check the can better. And I think this reversal is just sort of what Magnegro did on game 3.
Right.
Jesus is kind of readjusted. So you see him doing a lot more preemptive stuff. He's just turned on the aggression. He's just kind of barreling into him.
Right. And with the second hit on the rebound, that's the stun. That is the game. 3-2. Jesus stays alive.
That was quite a competitive set. Now, my pick for the winner of the tournament is now eliminated. And so now we had Jesus going up to losers quarters, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And so our next match will be UYU Little Eagles versus TrueGod.
TrueGod that's a name that we haven't said at all throughout this entire series. Haven't seen him in top 8 just yet. I mean, this is his first match. Didn't see him at all yesterday because he was in the later pool.
Yeah.
From what I understand, he is an Ohio native rocking the second sim that we're going to see in top 8. And he's going to be going against, like you said, UYU's own Little Evo. Now, Little Evo he's warm. That's all I got to say. That's all I really need to say. He's been sitting down over there in the casual station, and he has been grinding.
Yes, he has.
We've seen him so many times here, but he is yet to take the title in Atlanta. And I feel like if there's one for him to take, it's this.
The door is wide open.
He's sure to get masked up this time. And he actually has a different mask. He wasn't warming up with one. And I was kind of thinking, if he doesn't warm up and he doesn't practice with one, he probably shouldn't play one. But I never realized that he has different ones because he had a white one yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think he had like a smile on it.
Coming well decorated to see what he can do in top 8.
All right.
Gonna be rocking his Ed, but always have to keep it in mind that if he feels threatened and he feels the need, he does have an Akuma to get some big, beefy setups, but he might not need it. We'll see.
We'll see. Like you said, we haven't really seen TrueGod on stream, and I have not seen him play as of yet, so it'll be interesting for me as well. All right.
I'm really hoping, like I heard that he was a sim player, but I'm really hoping that he has another character, because I will say, if anything else, that the one person that Little Evil was sitting down warming up with the entire time, or for a majority of the time, was Henry Sen. Give me a second. We hear you.
All right.
Oh,
so
there it is.
We're in character select, Ed versus Sim.
Just seeing this alone, and from what I've seen through today, I'm thinking this might be kind of hard for TrueGod. But again, haven't had any footage, haven't seen him at all. He probably struggled to find a parking spot, which is why we couldn't even see him warm up. So we got to see what he's got to give us here in top 8, DreamHack Atlanta.
All right, here we go.
Maybe he knows that. Maybe he knows that. Ooh, that was a beefy slide. The last active frames of it. He had already started from the corner. I mean, he does have the life lead. He's been pretty good on the spacing as well.
Yeah, you kind of actually see a little familiarity with Dhalsim in general coming from Little Evil.
Again, like, he has no choice. Like, even if he had no clue, he picked the right person to set himself up for in the beginning of this. So he's well prepared for this matchup, in my opinion.
Just that charge fierce to get in.
Getting sent right back out, though. Nice.
This is like, I'm going to slide onto the other side.
But he's still stepping a little too far, getting sent, and perfectly content to stepping all the way in and taking a decent amount of white life. But I mean, it could have been a whole lot more if he just parked there the entire time.
Yeah, I guess he took an educated risk, and we'll see if it works out for him. Oh wow! I don't know what he was expecting from Sim there, but he all he got was air.
Thought he had a read on the rhythm. God informs him otherwise as he gets that first round. Good looks.
All right, just gets hit in the face and manages to turn it into a throw.
Whew, there it is. That's the upper we were looking for.
Yeah, good check, and TrueGod has been doing an excellent job of keeping Little Evil out of the air. Not so much his ground approach, though, funny enough.
Right. This time he weasels away from the jump for the stand mid kick. But he can't get away from the sweep. Yo, he just needs to hit him with the sweep button, man. Cross roundhouse doing so much work for Little Evil, but he's going to have to get off the carpet one more time, and he doesn't have the people first support. Using the snap. Yeah.
All right. Managed to land the hit. On to the third round.
Backed off the snatcher as we go into round 3. Both of them fully loaded with the critical art. Little Evil can't get him from the top. He's using his Sycho upper. He's like 0 for 3 on the uppers.
Yeah, no punish there.
And that's the first one that hits. Sadly, it took 2 meters for him to find. Using all 3 for reversal. So he's pretty much banking on a B-trigger comeback at this point.
Yeah, he is not letting Little Evil have the air at all.
No, that was such a lucky jab. Because if he would have found the block, that would have been one of these right here. Big V-trigger activation in the corner.
Yeah, at the end of it, you know, TrueGod still ends up getting pushed to the corner.
Oh, really? But he gets away from it one more time.
Yeah, his weak punishment game is putting him in really bad situations. Luckily, it turned out for the better here, but like that was the game-winning round. That could have easily been turned against him, and he could have lost this game.
Even with leaving a couple of Sycho uppers on the table, TrueGod is able to get enough to scrap the first game together. Now, that's something we do have to pay attention to, like you're saying. Like, what is Sim really going to do about a Sycho upper in his face? Not a whole lot unless he has meter, not a whole lot unless he has V-trigger. But I can't imagine that you want to give him so many opportunities because he threw like a good 7 of them.
Yeah, and like even if Sim doesn't get much, he can't drop the combos on top of that.
Right.
All right, here we go. Shove him into the corner. And we've seen this place before. All right, Repeat reverses himself into the corner. I think this works out better than sitting on the playing carpet. But Sycho upper, always there when you need it.
Taking the tick throw as well. Can't put the meaty on him. Is no invincibility with the teleport. Nice. Doesn't get everything full from it. But taking a good old roundhouse, getting a clean jumping. Saw that TrueGod was a little too focused on the ground where he found his success in game 1. You see he's still firing on the streets, trying to deter Little Evil from running at him, but yeah, he's got to be careful of the sweep.
So now you see it switch, like he's starting to focus on keeping him away on the ground.
Right.
He's starting to get hit by jump-ins more. Drill, some basic pokes and pressure from TrueGod.
Good back dash.
All right, there we go. Nice little conversion to punish the jet up, Sycho upper.
He didn't get a punish on it. He actually took so much time, like he let him whiff it, and he got a counter hit on something afterwards. Yeah, so I think he tried to jab afterwards. But still, he got the conversion from it, he got the round. That's the big thing at the end of the day. Yeah, he's just not really well in tune for what he should do when he pumps that big up. Trying to go to the backside, can't find anything. Tried to get under him, couldn't get down to the deck, and here we go with the take count.
Give himself a nice little lead, some positioning. I like how the animation pushes you all the way to the corner.
Exactly. And gives you the time to run Oki as well, even though he couldn't find anything. Here we go again, seen it quite a few times, sweeping the V-trigger activation, and TrueGod trying to retreat to the corner, gets his V-trigger, resets him on it as well. Ooh. And I think if that was an upper, that would have been fine, but still, keeping himself together in the scramble, finding the low forward, and getting himself even score, 1-1. Good looks by Little Evil.
Yep, took him a lot of composure to just calmly do that while sitting in the flames.
I know, right? And even though he's hiding behind the mask, you can see it with his gestures. He's like, yeah, that was kind of close.
All right, game 3.
Little nickel and diming back and forth. Just trying to keep the composure, trying to keep the spacing, trying to keep big stuff like that from happening, the big gambit from the jumping, because they've been playing with nothing but jabs and strongs, and Little Evil's like, you know what? Fierce, let me see where I can go with this.
Yeah, caught him being a little overzealous with the poke.
Yeah, well, nowhere to back up. And teleport not looking like the best idea because, yeah, Little Evil's been so aware of any teleport attempt. Couldn't find the mark on that, so that was just the little break that TrueGod needed, but it was very risky for him. Risky had to take.
Goes ahead and activates, gets himself in.
Get back, though. Play this neutral game one more time. Chilling with the spark. You know you don't need to go over there. Jab was solid, but we're going to need one more. Didn't throw anything. Lets him jump into his face. Nice slide.
Ooh, kiss him with the jab.
That jab was good, but I still think that slide was so much better just to flip the script. Even if he didn't want to take the jab, he had like 70% real estate to work.
Of course. Going for more local middle post this time. Keeping his air safe.
And TrueGod thought he was going to find a little evil with the dash throw, but still, with the right timing, allowing himself for a moment to stay away from him. Nice. The shim shalabim. Enough to get the stun. But not enough to be done. Didn't want anything to do with the flow. Actively chasing him with the rising jab. There it is.
Yeah, he's been checking that drill pretty hard during this set.
Right. Both of them one apiece. Both of them with one game.
All right.
But TrueGod getting the first big conversion here in round 3.
He's gonna go ahead and sit on his life lead a little bit, play with his spacing.
Wasn't ready for the drill that time, but no big harm really done for it. TrueGod trying to work from the corner again, fade away Fierce from the flow, and nice to take the time to get out. Double Gale, get some space. I don't know if you really wanted to slide under that one. I was thinking a back step maybe. Finding himself in the corner, and I like the idea. Not enough to get him away just yet because we got to keep with the scramble. The Rising finds nothing but a Fierce and another game in the pockets of TrueGod.
Yeah. One game away. And you see him kind of playing with fire by dancing above Ed's head.
Right.
And it worked out there, but he got hit a few times.
I mean, it's not even just being up there, but how he was getting up there. Because he had his back against the wall, was waking up, and decided to jump and take a gale off of his back. No regard to a meet. Because TrueGod knows what's coming at any point in time.
All right. Gets the crossover successfully. Got the conversion, the corner carry.
Didn't have the timing to get away from the throw, because you saw him looking for the throw bait. Just didn't have everything coordinated.
Got chases the V skill down.
Nice.
All right. Well, Little Evil one hit away.
And he's trying to roll away, and I like the adjustment from TrueGod. Like, he's seen him be reversal off the carpet so many times, so he made sure to stay at the range where even if he somehow got off the carpet, he would still be like sandwiched in between it and save himself. The awareness.
Yeah.
Sadly, he couldn't get down in time to get an anti-air on the Fierce, which is why he finds himself on the bad and on a couple of sequences. Good to get away from the snatcher, though. Neutral jump, roundhouse. Tried to go to it again.
Yoga Gale, nice little anti-air. Now we got this position switched here.
Yeah, but you're still going to have to come to him at some point in time.
That's all right. He has a lot more real estate to work with it.
The one button one.
Hey, can you beat this? I don't think you can.
No, he's struggling kind of hard against it.
But hey, man, Sycho up is always there. Oh.
Solid confirmed. Little Evil evens us up, 1-1. Has 2 Sycho uppers as well if he needs them. I say if, we know he's going to do it. He hasn't really been doing anything else. And it's been so good for, oh, okay, my bad. My bad. I mean, there's still a good use, though, taking him to the corner. Ooh, Van the Panic upper as well, trying to fix his mistake from letting TrueGod out. Nice, quote-unquote, an option select, just going with the Fierce. I mean, it was going to hit either way.
Yeah, TrueGod seems like he just kind of has got this down pat. Like he can see through all of Little Evil's tactics.
Ready for the V reversal one more time, keeping him in the smaller space. Wasn't looking for the jump though, and that's the break that Little Evil needs.
Yep, this is enough to take this round if he can push it.
Ah!
Slide V trigger. That classic since day one.
And it's not so much the slide, it's just the slow reaction to the drill as well. Something that he's been so good against. I can't remember if he had a meter for the Sycho upper.
I think also TrueGod has baited it a few times where he's spaced the drill just enough where the Sycho upper would not hit him.
Makes sense, Mike. Makes sense, because especially since that was a little further out.
So I think Little Evil questioned it. And unfortunately, that was the last question he had.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, We're going to take a little bit of a break so we can get some water. You know, you can get some snacks. And we're going to come back with some more top 8 action. So stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to DreamHack Atlanta 2018. We just had some pretty exciting top 8 sets so far.
Right.
Hope you guys are ready for some more.
Oh yeah, we got to drop back down to the bracket of alternative successes, I like to call it. Give you some of that good old Georgia action. We've already got them sitting on stage. They're waiting on us.
Yep.
We've got Ice Effect, one of the hallmarks of Atlanta, if you will. Trying to see if he can stay alive, trying to see if he can make it back up to DreamHack Grand, but he's going to have to go against Jesus. And Jesus has been on fire. We've only seen him one time, but that has been the big one that he's needed so far.
Yeah, that beating Magnegro is a pretty big mountain to climb, so he might be riding on a lot of confidence right now.
Right. More than he normally has. That's probably the most confident player in the entire state.
Well, here we go. Just casually walks up the lower.
Yeah, before he got busted in the mouth with that fierce. And he's almost stunned already. There it is.
Didn't take long. Barely hit eight on the timer.
Yeah, needs to get that confidence in check. Even with the drop, like, look at the bar at the top. The damage has been done.
And like you said earlier, Fang has a pretty big hill to climb as far as just taking a life back.
And I mean, look at where his V meter just went to, throwing a couple of Ryu benders on the deck. So how is he going to do this?
Well, Ice Effect might get an answer.
Yeah, that's true. Two sequences and using the V reversal for a little bit of space and a little bit of time on the stun game. Trying to jump out of the corner, no sir. Good fear. Really? One hit'll do it, and there it is. FGCJesus.
Well, it's like an Ice Effect, he was looking for a way to win an Ice Effect aside the strong.
Yeah, like he had nothing. He literally couldn't use his meter for it. I don't even want to say Jesus really won that. It was more Ice Effect lost that. But I can't take that away from Jesus.
Nope. I wonder if he was just hesitating to use his armor to get out due to the two-hitting nature of Fang.
Right. We can live on that for quite a long time, but we have to catch up to round two. Is Ice Effect quickly exiting over to the right, trying to see if he can keep Jesus contained one more time. A little unsuccessful, but he doesn't let him go scot-free. No, you're not jumping in on him.
Oh, he set up the Ryu bender, but it didn't work out just as he had his plan. Oh.
It's the punish, but he doesn't get a full confirm.
Can't drop those.
Nah.
So he runs it back. Ice Effect seems to be like putting himself in a lot of trouble for the most part. And then Jesus is capitalizing.
I think he really understands that, like, unless Jesus puts him in the corner on his terms, like, he's not going to be too content to staying next to Laura. So he's kind of okay, quote unquote, okay to chase him in the corner, but he's got to make sure that he's putting the pressure on him and force Jesus back out. Didn't really work out for him in the first game. Second game was okay, but I think that'll be something that he kind of sticks to throughout the set.
Makes sense. All right. Got the rear bender set up.
There's a roadblock over there.
Yeah, now he's focusing a lot more on the spacing game. Just trying not to get hit, of course.
With the reset, V-trigger activation. One more solid sequence will get the stun. Won't even need it if he can get the round, but sadly can't find it. So he has to fall back and play Jesus' game again. Okay. Okay.
Staying strong out here, doing interesting things.
Just all the bows, throw the bows.
Clipped him where he thought about being.
Exactly.
So first game, Ice Effect.
With a little bit of thought, Jesus perfectly content for queuing up and going in again for game two. Being a little more foregoing, excuse me. Not so much on the Ryu benders. He's trying to be a little more like active with how he defends his space and how he tries to push Ice Effect to the wall.
Oh, this is the coward crouch kicks.
Caught him asleep. Close to a stun again.
Yeah, Ice Effect is the definition of giving in to take a mile.
Right. Sadly, he couldn't get the long run as Jesus gets some space, gets away from the stun, and gets to play through the rest of this round. Now, we've seen him make a bigger comeback, so this wouldn't be that huge of a mount for him, but still a tall order nonetheless.
Yeah, Ice Effect seems to kind of cool his hero since the last game. Because, you know, he had a nice life lead.
Right.
Even though he's getting pushed to the corner, he's just taking his time, watching what's going on, not losing his composure. It worked out a lot better.
Yep. Perfectly cool with that. You want me to take the poison, I'll take that. No big deal. What else you doing? A little too slow.
All right, Jesus is in his groove. Usually when this happens, he usually is able to push it really far.
Yeah, wasn't looking for the jump out, and that gives Ice Effect the breath of air that he needs to try to start his game before you get slapped in the mouth. Hold up where you're going and get him off of V reversal as well. I'm just going to keep hitting this. Sooner or later, you'll jump into it. That's the plan.
Yeah, I don't know if he misjudged the B game there.
Misjudged. I'm more concerned that Ice Effect just threw a V reversal on sweep.
Well, I think he was thinking that Jesus had his V gauge up.
Fair enough, I guess. Question mark. He's still looking to make the comeback. One guess will take it. The overhead to seal the deal. Now, I think he knows. That right there tells me that he knows that that V reversal, no, that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have.
But we take those anyway. Yeah. I looked up to get my water and I see the luscious locks are out. It's business time.
They took off the hat. He's not trash anymore.
Going from trashy to classy. Got to make sure to keep the shades in check though, trying to run away from them.
Our savior.
Yo, really? I can't really imagine that those are friendly words between the two. Even though they're both Atlanta natives, I don't think that was real kind talk, if you will.
It definitely wasn't. They were smiling. All right, here we go. We've seen this story before. Jesus taking the initiative, getting the Ice Effect in the corner. But at some point, Ice Effect either jumps out or manages to land a hit.
That time we checked the jump with the fierce, and it was more of the spacing as well. Because even if he wouldn't have had the anti-air ready, he wouldn't have let him get across him for free. But I mean, I guess he's going to do the work for him later on down the road. Ready for it. Didn't get a full punish, but he was well aware of the idea crossing his mind. There it is, doesn't get a full confirm from it. But even if he gets tapped up a little bit, Jesus is looking kind of okay. Kind of okay because he's not under fire. Gets a big trade taking the meter, but sadly, it's not enough for him to overcome good old crouch mid punch, hammering in his feet and getting that first round.
So Ice Effect is looking pretty good. So even when Jesus is managing to take control, Ice Effect usually just finds that one moment and just turns it all on its head.
Yeah, that's the name of Laura's game. Doesn't really need a whole lot to get things started. Sunset Wheel, it's a good start. V reversal trying to get away from him. Sadly finds himself on another rodeo throw. Speaking of rodeo throws, the repeat, the stun, the round, and the set. 3-0 going for Ice Effect.
All right, Ice Effect progresses. Yeah, Jesus is going to need just a little bit more consistency in his game, a little more of a sense of when to back off of his pressure, when to just kind of chill. So overall, I like what he was doing. Is just he didn't drive the point home hard enough. And again, a lot of that is the nature of his character and the nature of Ice Effect's character.
Now one that has to spend so much time trying to play neutral and just trying to play the deterrent and the officer throw everything up in your face to keep you from getting in your face. Whereas the other one, the one who's moving on, is like, well, I'm here. I got you. This is your problem.
All right, we got Arsenal back up along with TrueGod. Two people who, again, haven't been on the minds of most people at this tournament, and they progressed to top 8.
I'm pretty sure Arsenal has been on the minds of a lot of people, especially the ones in his pool, because there were some people that were pretty sure that they were going to make it to top 8. He had to have been on the mind of Jesus. That's the reason why Jesus was in the loser's bracket to start this off. And also on somebody that we haven't talked about at all, Squall. Yeah. Another Florida native that I was pretty sure we were going to see in top 8 again, but he was in the bracket that, or he was in the pool rather, that Arsenal made it out of. Like, I was trying to think of something fancy to say, but you can't sugarcoat it. Arsenal is here, and he's here to make a statement. Tried to see if he can make it to winner's final against Henry-Sen. Wasn't successful, but he was really close. But now, he needs to see if he can stay alive. Going to be looking at, guess what, yet another Dhalsim. So,
Well, see if he learned something from his last set. Like, he definitely has some good ideas countering the Gels and the Yoga Snipers. But ultimately, I think he had a similar problem with Jesus where he couldn't really press home the issue of his own offense.
Right, right.
And unlike Jesus, he has a character that is quite built for it.
Something else that'll be good for him is the fact that this isn't the first match he played. Because remember, he brought us into Street Fighter, so it's kind of slow on the start, but on the other end of the spectrum, TrueGod, he's been around for a little bit, so he's warm as well. All right, that TrueGod taking the big back throw, but wasn't expecting Arsenal to just dash back in and take two of his own. And stop that.
Arsenal trying to get those nickel and dimes in.
Like he's trying to, but he's just getting picked apart by all the jabs. I don't know what you're dancing around for down there. You better be ready, which he is.
And TrueGod tries to swing after that slide. Oh, nice jump in.
Yeah, everybody talks about the shimmies, but a good old neutral jump, that's the biggest punish that you're going to get.
Doesn't find anything with the B skill, ends up in the corner instead, but not the worst side, not the worst in the world.
The V trigger, yeah, you better keep your hand to yourself. Even if he tries, he's still okay taking the skate in short, tick throw to take the round. TrueGod needs to be so careful with this throw because he's gotten Tex blown up twice already.
Yep. So nothing really crazy going on here. Just basic focus from TrueGod. He keeps trying to start pressure off that slide, and he has to be careful with that.
Right, right. For the dashes again, not giving him any free ground space.
Yeah, Arsenal is going down his checklist of how do I get in. I tried icicle, I tried slides.
That was such a good slide to get under the hail as well. Because normally you see people trying to challenge at that point, and they take a trade that goes into Kolin's favor. But this slide is panning out in TrueGod's favor, taking a little bit of V-gauge as well. And he's sure he's getting hit, but I mean, he's got half-life to work with instead of like a fourth.
Yeah, pretty impressive sequence from Arsenal here. But as soon as I say that.
And he just did a parabellum if he had EX.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
And so that kind of goes back to the point I originally made, is that's like at the end, even when he gets everything he wants, he just doesn't take it to the end.
About keeping his meter, Arsenal gave TrueGod a chance to keep this going as we're 1-1, catching up to the action here in round 3. There's not much to really catch. This is a stop over here in the corner, and I don't know if TrueGod's going to be able to get away from this. Finds the fear in the V-trigger, good side swap as well. Yeah, you got to activate. You can't leave that on the table. Oh, work.
All right. He still has plenty of V-gauge left, and he's very, very timid about using it.
Right, right. But he keeps fading back so far. Like, think about where this started. He started this little exchange right in his face, and he was willing to back all the way out against Sim. So he had to work through the limbs, got chipped a little bit with White Life, but eventually gets felled by the Yoga Sniper. So Arsenal really did that to himself.
Yeah, like, you see him using the regular parabellum. He's not using his EXs for the big conversions to follow up Oki. You just see him just kind of fizzling out, even though he's winning.
Right, right. Still very adamant to dashing as Arsenal. It's okay so far. Speaking of dashing, here's a big one from TrueGod, and it's so big because he got the back throw, so he has all the space to work again if he needs a little too eager getting back to about the target combo. Tick throw from Arsenal. And another carpet. The Sim carpet has been so good here in this top 8. And yeah, the damage is really done at this point. Like, he's not going to get that White Life back, and he's not the kind of person to sit and allow it to come back either.
Yeah, so this pace is costing them a little bit. All right, successful V skill. All right, we got a good sequence going on.
Not really the best because we can't keep him contained. Like, yeah, he really does need to push the issue and just try to stay on top of him when he gets him down. Like, think about it. Think about how much space he got. He just gave him. He knocked him down in the corner, and he gave him so much space to allow him to get roundhouse sweep into V-trigger. Like, you can't really be letting that go so much. But this is looking a lot better.
Definitely.
Now, who you trying to slide up on? Got these heels for you, staying short.
All right, works out. Tied up.
It's just counter poking against the jab to start the song. Trying to play the 50-50s.
All right. Goes on with some basic pressure, just supposed to try to shove him into the corner here. Oh, missed the punch on the sweep there.
There we go again. Going against the Fierce to get the carpet on the table. Leave a lot of room where Arsenal doesn't want to stand. Didn't get the confirm with the EX Flame, but it's still okay. TrueGod finding his way out of the corner, finding a Fierce, and finding the second game in his lap. And yes, Arsenal clearly feeling the pressure on his face as he is one game away from getting eliminated.
Like I'll say it again, good ideas, just not so great execution. And TrueGod doing an excellent job controlling the airspace, as we noted in his last set.
Right. And he's doing fairly well at checking the jabs as well, or the dashes as well. He doesn't get all of them, but he gets enough to really hold Arsenal and just not get completely ran over by Kolin. So the defensive prowess of TrueGod and the zoning efficiency is pretty strong. Game count agrees as well.
He's got his V-trigger active, but he's still kind of playing the same way he did before. All right, get the punish on the jump recovery. There we go. There's that EX.
He can't stop him. Takes a throw. He can't stop him. Yeah, a little too far. He was so sure that the hail was going to back him up. Like he just knew that even with the jab, TrueGod isn't going to challenge this at all. But he clearly didn't know enough, because where are we at? One round away from having a 5th place finisher, and that would be Arsenal.
And unlike the match with Sid, I don't think he's landed a single one of those counters.
No, like that hasn't even been on my mind. I kind of forgot she had it.
Yeah, he's been whipping a few of them.
There's the V skill though.
Yeah, he's been getting some V skills here and there.
Slowly trying to work his way in, gets an overhead, but wasn't ready for the back dash. Such a huge change of fortune for TrueGod.
All right, well, he needs to get away from the flame carpet.
I'm pretty sure that messed up his input. I'm pretty sure if anything he wanted to flame wouldn't have mattered too much. Empty jump low, good looks from TrueGod for the block.
Hey, dash in jab.
And that gets him around, but he needs one more.
Like, I'm kind of curious, what is the strongest punish Sim can actually put on a space V skill? Yeah, if you can get the V gauge that much quicker.
Like if he's up in the air, I'm assuming he does get the Fierce, but just like on reaction standing on the ground, it's probably just mid-kick Gale, or not Gale, Flame. Just take the knockdown. But I mean, if you're fully loaded, you can let him have it a couple times to take half his life with a critical art. Pretty good for TrueGod, even if he finds himself in the corner.
Yeah, there's not much need for him to panic here. Ooh, okay, good air throw check.
Gets another throw, throwing him back into the corner as well.
Uses a slot to push him all the way back there.
A little too fast, and everybody knew we didn't even need to see the finish of it.
He needs to really look at what he does on pressure, like what he wants to try to stop, what he wants to do. And a lot of I think the big issue ultimately ended up being he played V-trigger Kolin the same way he played normal Kolin.
Right. But I mean, you want to talk about he played them about the same, but the real problem is like his spacing again. Most of the time when he got the V-trigger, finally got it activated, where did he wind up at some point in time? Whether it's on his own or because of TrueGod's effort, like full screen. Kolin looks the same full screen, like, what am I doing? Maybe I can skate a bit, like, help. Help.
And that's TrueGod took advantage of every bit. Like he saw the holes and gaps in the pressure and was able to get a lot of corner throws or reversal corner throws, reversing the fortune. You know, piling on the pressure, getting the damage, getting the mix-ups. And even when he was put in the corner and was losing, he never really panicked and died. It was usually the times he lost was usually when Arsenal got enough of the mix-ups and won.
And there's so much calculation that, like, that's how it ended. Like, he knew that Arsenal was looking for some kind of hit, went for either a jump or a backdash, can't really tell, just to take the reset and get the throw to close it out. So yeah, so much thought going to TrueGod's defense.
Yep. So we got Sycho up and GoldenCen, our winners finals. So Florida versus New York.
Sycho over there getting himself psyched up to get things started. And I guess the question right now is, where is the sniper Henry Sen? Probably sitting in the rafters trying to take an early pop shot on Sycho if he can get it. Yeah, it should be a pretty good one. Necalli versus our winning Sim so far. Yo, maybe he'll just play the chair. Yo, them DreamHack chairs are pretty strong. He got the best of me yesterday. I'll admit it.
Yeah, he might be able to beat that chair, but can he beat the PSN menu?
Oh, gee, yeah, that's a hard matchup.
Here he comes, making his grand entrance.
Getting himself armed as well. That old, the Hello Kitty. Is that the Hello? Yeah, that's the Hello Kitty.
That limited run.
I'm still mad I didn't get one from the sweepstakes, if you will, a couple of years ago. Quote unquote. I don't know if we can still talk about the R word on streams, but gonna go ahead and use sweepstakes for now. One ticket away. It's pretty upset about that, but those are still pretty solid sticks. And I'm not even a person that really likes pink at all. I'm one of the guys that's like, you know, guys with pink, man, that ain't my style, but I would have rocked that stick.
Well, we all can't be the chosen one.
I know, right? We all can't be golden either. We're trying to see if Henry can strike gold and make it to the grand finale, or if he's going to have to work out a loser's finals being felled at the hands of Sycho. Share with a quick second. You know, I got to say it. You know, it had to come at some point in time, because what are we worth? We're worth everything that you give us. So to all of you out there watching now, watching in the future, if you catch the vibes, thank you. Can't say it enough. Giving you good old DreamHack Atlanta 2018 winners final, coming out of NLBC, coming out of New York, GoldenCen, repping his Dhalsim, his opponent from Florida. Florida's still looking so strong, trying to see if they can take another Street Fighter event under the helm of Sycho and his Necalli.
All right, it looks like we're about to get started. It's going to be interesting to see how these two interact. Well,
more of an upfront approach. Don't want to deal with any yoga fires or Sychos or anything. Just want to get our hands dirty.
Yeah, he didn't bother checking the roof, the windows. He just walked up and opened up the front door.
Whoa, from downtown.
Yeah, Necalli has some decent tools to check Sim's mid-range and his fireballs, definitely.
Right. With the V-trigger, is that enough? He's going to be really close, but a drop, still okay. Oh, he was okay until he got tapped. If he can get away, he's going to be in a deep position, or he can just break through with a DP.
Man.
The Sycho.
Why get invincibility if you're not going to get it?
Exactly.
Very bold sweep there.
Yeah, perfectly content for letting him have the flow. Doesn't really want to challenge it, especially if he has to step so far across the yard, you know?
Okay, he tries to jump it this time.
Yeah, he's getting tired of it. Like, he's getting so much closer to the wall. Like, he can't let him have it for so long.
Got a little claustrophobic.
It's kind of scary over there.
All right, managed to hit the sweep V trigger. Sycho is just like, you're doing everything he can just to make contact, and he managed to do it.
Catching him with a couple of resets on the ground. Wasn't close enough for the throw that Sin was thinking about, but getting him off the V reversible eventually. Landing on the fire, I mean, still okay. Sycho with a decent lead. Nice reaction from sending it away from the sideline. I mean, it wouldn't have meant anything, but just the awareness and the acknowledgement of what Sycho is doing. Just the sharp reaction. That's why he's golden.
why he's golden.
He is golden.
Finishes us off with a little punish on the dive. he's had enough.
Yeah, because I mean, at some point in time, Cen was just feeling comfortable up there, and it's like, I mean, you can't just let me have this, right? When are you gonna do something? But that's a lot of information, knowing that the first thing that crosses Sycho's mind is to use meter for it. Hot breath, getting some space. Strong putting him back on the ground. That's a better Strong to catch him flat on the ground. But you don't get to do all that. Stop that.
Yeah, for Necalli, for the most part, that light stomp is a stopping point.
Right. Ooh.
Claws his way to victory.
That's after finding a jump in from an errantly thrown stand mid kick. And that is the first step for Sycho moving on to grand finals.
Yep, 1-0. He's definitely looking to check those V-skill floats a little more. He's not going to let Cen just leave them for free.
Right. Yeah, Cen looking to start this off a little further range. Was okay with playing a couple of the fiercest, but yeah, can't keep Sycho contained for long. Guess what we have? Our first command throw.
Well, he misses the meeting, and we're back to neutral.
I mean, but that's just still a tale of momentum. And that's a tale of a little too much momentum, a little too much confidence. The errant DP, but no, it's still okay, even life. And if it's even Cen versus Necalli, Necalli's liking that. As long as it's not the last hit.
He ended up walking away from the flame carpet, but we're in the corner, and then, well, luckily Sycho saw his opportunity.
Now, you're not getting the second one of those drills, my friend.
Yeah, he's been pretty good overall at checking Cen's drills.
Right.
With neutral jumps, with back dashes, crouch strongs, a lot of things.
And for somebody who said they were looking for the weak, I'm kind of wondering if Cen bit off a little more he can chew with this match. Because Sycho's looking so clean in the second game. Wasn't ready for the crouch strong, but I mean, the idea is there. Whoa!
Now that was a fierce of the god.
Yeah. Critical art still keeping things relatively even.
Uses that V reversal, get him into the corner.
You're going again? Yeah. What you doing about this, man? You let me sit up here so far? Go ahead and take the space from me. That's a good V reversal. Just to get some space. And he gets slammed back onto the carpet, but he didn't sit there the entire time. I can't stress that enough. I mean, you're gonna take some burn damage, but it's not taking the most of it. And that's what allows Sycho to get the game. Number 2, one more game, and we've got Florida sitting in yet another grand final.
Indeed. So Cen's gonna have to come up with a clear answer to Necalli's neutral jump. That's been the linchpin of a lot of his strategy, his damage, his positioning.
Right.
Yeah, he's not even shy anymore.
No.
He's like, I already know you. I mean, that crush counter fierce earlier was just, I see you.
But yeah, instead of trying to have a direct answer for the float itself, you see Sycho trying to stop anything that comes after it. But we're going for 2, 3. Now he's not one of those people. Big confirm with the double fierces. But yeah, we're gonna need a whole lot more as his hands get checked, ankles get scraped by a crouch strong and Sycho. 1 round away from seeing a berth in grand finals, and I'm hard pressed to believe Cen is gonna stop him right now.
He hasn't really shown any strong counterattacks to what Sycho is doing, so he's gonna have to make a lot of big changes.
Charging in. And Cen got away and got a reset, but he wasn't able to get away for free because of the EX stomps, so still had the block still on the fire. And I mean, that's really the most that he's had for anything from float. Like, he's gone to jab, but what does jabs really mean if eventually he's going to get hit with big roundhouses and DPs, you know?
Understand?
Half time checking the dash, and Cen's pretty close to closing this one out, especially since he's able to get away. V skill Fierce. I was going to say V-skill float. There's so many F's up there. But finally breaking the momentum, but for how long?
Yeah, that Chris counter sweep shows that it may not be that long.
Not at all. In the corner again, already having to use a V reversal, not a good look for Cen. But even with that, he's about to find himself on a V trigger until he comes up off another one.
Yeah, he's really not letting Cen jump if he's in range.
Right. Fierce over the top. One more. What's it gonna be? Teching to stay alive. But yeah, with that V reversal, hard comeback. Not even needed.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that you have to change. And I argue that he might even have to change the character.
Yeah.
Based on what was happening there.
It's gruesome.
Because Necalli is not somebody you can discourage with slaps on the wrist. And that's all really Dhalsim has to offer. So there was our winners finals. It was a clean 3-0.
Clean in the sense of it was 3-0, but I was thinking it was dirty for like all of the grit that was just happening. Just bomb after bomb coming from Sycho. And like you said, like, what did Cen really have the answer with? Like, he had some big damage here and there when he had all of his meter, but as we got later and later into the set, you saw him throwing V reversal after V reversal. And in the last game, he threw either 4 or 5. I want to say it was 4, but if he doesn't have a carpet, like, how can he really get started?
Sure. So it's like, you gonna jab him to death? Well, that's not how it worked out.
But yeah, we will still see Cen. He lives to see another day, becoming one of the weak that he was looking to prey on. But he'll have to see who his next opponent is, which will be between one of these two. Ice Effect or Atlanta local, trying to see if he can stay afloat. But he's gonna have to go against another heavenly figure in the TrueGod. TrueGod with quite a good display, taking out another Atlanta brethren so far in Arsenal, trying to see if he can get another headpiece to put on his mantle.
No, Dhalsim looking like the new Atlanta killer.
The new? I don't know what you're talking about, new. Like, that's been around since Street Fighter 4. You can't forget. Even though we have new faces in the front of Street Fighter for Atlanta, that's still Cen.
That's still Cen.
That's still Cen, man. Yo, everybody weak to Cen around here.
Well, here we go. We're going to see who's going to make the losers finals.
Ice Effect over there with his Lord, dawned in red, one more time, getting clipped by TrueGod, starting off with the Sim. TrueGod getting another one of his back throws. I wish I had $1 for every back throw he's gotten in this top 8. I could probably afford to go get some pizza. He's gotten quite a lot. That one not as devastating as the ones he's gotten earlier, but still good to give him space to play around Ice Effect.
So it looks like he's on the output of V reversals to keep Laura from really getting started.
Right.
Taking that flame carpet off the table there.
Back dash when he couldn't really get anything started. He got met with a strong, met with a stun, and met with the first round going the way of Ice Effect.
This matchup, I feel, is going to play out very similar to the last set, where you got Laura, someone who can't really be deterred by slaps on the wrist, trying to go in and get her big money reward.
And the only difference is Laura doesn't exactly have the same amount of health as Necalli, but she still has enough to get the job done at the end of the day.
She still has pretty strong answers for the V-skill floats. She has ways to get through folks like Necalli.
Stopping all the momentum and slapping him back with a V reversal again, getting tongue-tied. That's what you were looking for, right? A little bit of armor, blow up the limbs. Trying to get stuck on him, but TrueGod finding the space yet again. Taking the trade. He's okay with that. Not okay with taking another EX elbow. Here we go.
Oh, catches the dad at the time.
Wasn't letting him slide and then try to look for a sunset wheel. Getting the reset with the stand mid kick. Getting the second round. Good looks from TrueGod.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in this set with Arsenal. Like he seems to really know the gaps in pressure. Well.
You have to. Like if you don't, you just get smothered in seven.
That's true.
Double pistons with the Fierce going to the backside. We didn't even hit the 8, and Laura got stunned by 7. That's not looking good for Ice Effect.
That's typically not a good sign for anybody.
Right.
All right, good in here.
Peace. I mean, you're in V-trigger. What you doing about this? And when that's gone, this is your problem. Good to get under the thunderclap, put him on the carpet, but a roundhouse could be the break that Ice Effect needs.
He went all in on that one.
Right. TrueGod went all the way out. Gonna try to see if we can pin him down with the catastrophe. Just chip him out. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, except for at the bad end of the first game.
Yeah, he had no real meter to burn through it or anything of the sort, so he had to resign to his fate there. So, yep, one up TrueGod.
Ice Effect looking down, and then, like it's kind of sad to see him like this. That's where you see like all the wins get out of his sails when he starts looking down, looking around. But he's got to get things together. He's the last hope for Atlanta.
He is.
There you go.
He got a command grab. Usually the beginning of the end for a lot of his opponents.
Yeah, but you're going to need more than that as we find himself sliding under another thunderclap. No anti-air though, so he gets a second chance.
All right, what we got next?
Solid tech and squirming his way out of the corner. A lot of damage has been done though, not enough to take the round with the throw, but TrueGod has the resources to make the comeback, and we've seen him do it.
All right, well,
see if he can make it happen.
I was going to say, he started out with the flame carpet, but that didn't really go anywhere.
You're not jumping at me, stop!
I mean, hey, all it takes is a couple of trades, right?
Right.
There's one right there. And now he's going to be afraid to anti-air a little bit.
Which is why I let him jump in for free that time. Challenges again with 4. This time switching to the back stall.
And there it goes. He's like, you know, eventually one of these is going to work. Because the burden was on TrueGod to be in the perfect positioning and using the correct button.
Yeah, how we say from where we come, if at first it don't succeed, nah, bruh, it's going to succeed. The Ice Effect special taking the first round and giving him a really good start here in round 2. Sunset wheel so close to the stun. Going again, one more for the stun.
Going for the sweep.
Yeah, we find ourselves in a very similar situation where he can probably trade it out if he really wants to.
Yeah, he's gonna have to think real hard about that fireball in his face, because he's been checking his slide every time.
Right. But even so, Ice Effect jumping in with a short and getting everything on a level field 1-1.
Yeah, but I don't know what he was looking around for. Maybe he found it.
Over there playing a little too calm and collected, like, let me go ahead and roll the dice and jump in and see what happens. Is that what we do?
Sometimes that's the answer.
Well, it's working out so far, as even though we're sitting in Atlanta, it feels like we're at Vegas with all the times he's gone to the throws. Trying to jump in again in a trade. That's okay for TrueGod this time, because he doesn't need the light at this point. Waits long enough to find the elbow and gets a big punish. Ooh, and the instant overhead, not with the sniper, but a big stomp from the neutral jump forward. I don't even know what button that was. It was good enough to get the round. That's all that matters. Nice. Got a full confirm. That takes some decent timing as well.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of what TrueGod is losing is when he actually starts turning on the aggression rather than when he's defending himself.
Well, here he goes again with another offensive gambit. Yeah, thwarted immediately by a neutral jump.
So I've seen a lot of the damage is from like misplaced drills and getting hit out the slides.
And he couldn't get into the air that time for the reversal, because you saw the reversal come up, so he got something out. But clearly there was a hitbox there, because that's what got snatched. That's why we're here in round 3.
There you go, dashing in, trying to start some offense. Is usually where all the momentum kind of falls out of his favor.
Caught him a couple times with counter hits as well, so TrueGod a little slow on the draw, trying to get some space, using all of the meter just to get the stun down as well. Finds his way out with the teleport, but huge mountain for him to climb. 76 seconds left on the clock, and this is a sim who needs to make a lot of ground up.
Yeah. He's just trying to corral Ice Effect into the corner, but EX Elbow had other ideas.
Yeah. And he's hit quite a few jabs with Ice Effect. hitting 1 forward, and that's all he needs to move forward 2-1.
And it's looking like a lot like the set with Henryson and Sycho, where the momentum really started to shift when they started putting hard checks on the V skills. Or Dhalsim V skill.
Right. Can SFV get one more now, and will TrueGod even it up 2 apiece? Not looking good for the start as he finds himself on his back.
Well, TrueGod seems to be quite an expert at frame data. It seems not to realize that a lot of his slides are unsafe on hit. Because he's getting counter hit out of him a lot.
Spacing. Like so.
Like so.
Still not allowing them to jump, checking with the jabs, but the jabs are mounting up this time around until a big Fierce finds his mark. V reversal as well, just to try to stop any momentum. Here we are on the carpet. I thought we were on the carpet. Everybody thought that except for SFV. Piecing out, finding a sunset wheel. Where do we go? Another one, yes, flashing on him.
When you least expect it, that's where it comes.
And with that, it puts him 1 round away from having to fight another sim. But he's got to clear the first one. Good throw, back throw, back into the space. And yeah, there's a lot of times where TrueGod has gotten a back throw, thrown a Yoga Fire, and immediately chased after it. I like the idea of him staying back and playing a range game this time around. Wasn't the most successful since SFV eventually found his way in, but he's trying to see how long he can stall him before he has to confront him face to face.
All right, hit the mark with that drill, starts his pressure.
Gee, yo, that foot. Is he ready for it? No, he wasn't. Quickly going the way of TrueGod with a little bit of white life on the table, and he's ready for it.
He sat there waiting for what felt like a great deal, even though it was pretty fast. He's like, you can either jump and die, or you can teleport and die. Or you can wait and let me come in your face. So.
Seeming like no matter what choice TrueGod picked, all for naught, that all led to him with a 4th place finish.
Great effort by TrueGod, and so Atlanta still has one last hope, one last shining hope.
Right.
And he has another sim to beat down, as you say.
Yeah.
So can he take down New York?
Yeah, he's feeling the pressure. Like, look at him. Like, I got through one of the Georgia Demons, but here comes the assassin with a sniper. Henryson, 50 cal Sin, that's what I wanted to call him. 50 cal Sin, trying to see if he can blow off another Georgia head. And this would be a big one to take if he can fell the last AT alien here in the top 8. And this is one match that he's been talking about the entire time when we were sitting here waiting for Street Fighter to talk. All Henryson could ever say is, I'm ready for SFV. I'm ready to wait and meet him in winners finals. Probably wasn't expecting to meet him down here in losers finals, but still saw enough of the future to where he was going to cross his path nonetheless. Now let's see if he can make good with his work.
All right. I mean, if he does it once, that means he can do it again. He's coming fresh off the SIP matchup. He's got a lot of ideas going on in his head.
Bro, stop, all right? This is SFV, all right? He's got a lot of ideas. As in, I'm gonna go over here, hit my strong.
Henryson has some different ideas.
Yo, really?
Maybe he saw the writing on the wall.
Now, I do know that he has a block. I've been told that he has a pocket block. Well, I won't say a pocket blocker. He has a blocker on his side, but I don't think we've seen it the entire week. We haven't seen it on stream. I don't know if he's played it off stream. But to pull this out right now, this is something that we've seen quite a few times in Georgia. Is SFV ready for it again?
Let's see. Like I said, we got a local blocker here, so hopefully he knows quite a bit.
Taking a wheel from a stand short. And he's ready for the rainbow ball. But I mean, he was far enough away. It was just a question of his sin coming in or not.
right, gets the punish.
And that's something you always got to check as a blocker. Do they actually know their punish for a blocker ball? Because a lot of people still don't know that. Surprised as it may be.
And ain't no problem.
That cash, he sat there and waited for it to see it with a command throw. Doesn't get a full punish and finds his way out of the corner. Jumping short, some kind of short. There's always a short that leads to the sunset wheel at the end of the road.
It feels like Cen's block is kind of lost. Like even in a neutral situation, he's not really making anything happen.
I can see that. Trying to see if he can just move his way around with a couple of rainbow balls, see if he can spook Ice Effect. But no real neutral as well, like not really poking with roundhouse interferences, anything of that nature. Can't really get into the jab range, which I mean, he's following him, but what's his game plan at this point? Trying to see if he can get something done with a rainbow ball, which hasn't been successful.
Yeah, a lot of the strategy feels like it's based on the person not knowing much about blocking.
Ice Effect taking the trade just to get the space one more time. But he gets caught.
Nice damage.
But there's no more V-trigger, so what's the game plan? Yeah, this all sorts of smoke and mirrors, looking for a desperation command throw, but the beast has been felled, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a quick trip back to the portrait gallery.
Let's see. Yeah, whatever he was looking for with Blanca, he thinks it's there.
Really? Yeah, this man's crazy. I think he's crazy to go to it again after what we just saw.
Like, he just needed a warm-up match. He sees something there. But yeah, he's not going to trick Ice Effect, who he thinks, like I just said, we have a local Blanca here who's actually fairly decent weight.
Right. Not only do we have our local Blanca, Alex, that you're talking about, I give some big ups to him, but there's been a couple times that Ice Effect has run across Magnegro's Blanca, so he has some knowledge of the matchup. We know for a fact he has some knowledge of the matchup. And I say that, but this one is looking a lot closer than it was in game one, so you're right. Maybe Cen saw something that we couldn't. Sat there and waited for him, blew him up with an up ball.
Yeah, Ice Effect not letting those slide.
Not at all. Letting him cook in the corner, pinned him in with a thunderclap, took the overhead just to send him down the tunnels and get himself yet another round. I believe this is 3 straight. Record looking pretty clean so far. Has the knowledge to know that he gets a jab elbow punish on the slide. No question about it. As somebody who's seen a lot of blocks.
Yep. Like, a lot of those rainbow balls, he's missed the mark completely. Like, he knows where to stand, where to deal with a lot of stuff. So, you think he's gonna go to that character select?
I'm begging him. I'm begging him.
At this point, I don't really see anything. Like, he kind of got some hits in the first round, but Ice Effect just kind of showed that he was in control of that whole set.
I'm begging you, Cen, please take it back. Yes. Like, get off of this blocker. It ain't doing it. Like, I mean, sure, I would like to see Ice Effect move on, but I want this to be competitive. And that blocker is just not competitive right now.
I guess he's just really not confident fighting Cen versus Laura, but his Blanca didn't have anything to offer him.
He might be completely scared knowing that he has to see a pretty strong caliber Laura at NLBC time and time again, so he might just have that etched into his mind. But he's got to try it. I wish he would have left himself 2 chances, but we'll see what he can do with 1. Because he really only has 1 chance left, and this start is already looking better than anything he had with Blanca. But again, we have to get readjusted, recalibrated to a new character.
Yeah, but he has 3 games to get. All right, so back to the similar strategy we saw in the set with TrueGod, just basic poking. Ice Effect trying to bully his way in. Cen's a little more precise with keeping him out.
Right.
So I say, and once again, Ice Effect finds his way in.
But sadly, since he had a bit of a drop, it's not as clean as he needs it to be. Eventually picks up the spares, he gets the throw, taking a bigger throw with the sunset wheel. You see him trying to stalk his way in, and Cen immediately clears the set, gets the carpet down, like, bruh, slow your roll. Need a little bit of breathing room here, if you please. Faking teleports as well, trying to see if he can spook Ice Effect. Doesn't get it, taking the plus range from the Gale as well, can't find the slide. Yoga Sniper though pulls out the 50 cal, takes his first shot with the Sim.
Finally gets one round on the board.
Right. He's gonna need 5 more of those, and it's not looking good when you're getting swept up by a lower roundhouse.
Waiting for the teleport, puts him down.
And that was actually a whiff punish. He didn't intend it to be a whiff punish. I believe it was a wish punish, literally, but it still worked out very well for Ice Effect, trying to ride the momentum. Waiting for the view reversal, chasing down the teleport, and just a sliver of life was the only thing keeping him alive for a second, but not long enough. 1 round is all that keeps Ice Effect away from Sycho in Grand Finals. But Cen, still alive, still has a full critical art. I'd like to see him make something happen.
No, it's not starting out too great.
Not at all.
Yeah, Flora got the command grab. Goes for the EX grab, one of his signature moves. I think it's the first time I've seen this get stopped.
Taking the plus range from the Gale again. This time going with the throw. Last time he went for the button. A little off the mark, giving Ice Effect another chance. Oh, what are we doing, Cen?
Regular throw.
Ooh!
And that's all she wrote. A quick 3-0. And like you said, he probably should have switched off Fang a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. Atlanta stays alive, and that free money is not so free.
Maybe he was talking about 3rd place money being free. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But still, big ups to Henry Cen coming all the way down here and scooping up a 3rd place finish here at DreamHack Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you for repping your region, coming on down. Glad to have you here.
But with him leaving the stage, with Sycho stepping up, as you see on camera, it's going to put us back to a good old Southern classic, Georgia versus Florida. However, Georgia's in the hot seat right now. We only have 3 games to work with since we're coming out of the bracket of alternate success. Sycho leading the Florida boys, trying to put another medal around the Florida neck. Street Fighter only needs 3 games, needs to dodge 6 bullets.
You know, Lord, that still can be a tall order.
But he's got Necalli. He's got to devour out.
That's also a tall order, full order.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, she's literally looking at a bigger bully. And again, we've said this a couple of times. For all of the matchup experience that you expect people to have in 2018 in an online era, how many Necallis do you think Ice Effect has seen in recent times? How many polished Necallis do you think Ice Effect has run up against? Probably not as many as Sycho has seen Laura's, I wouldn't think. So I want to say a lot of the burden is going to be on Ice Effect to keep his ducks in a row and make sure he hits all of his marks. Because every time he misses, there's going to be a claw on his ankles. There's going to be a scratch from a DP, and it's going to look so devastating if he ever gets kicked in the gut.
Yeah, Necalli, just by nature, is fairly relentless, so you can't give him his end.
You can't give him his end, and you can't just waltz in for free.
And Sycho starting this off very strong.
Yeah, almost had the stun before the 10-second mark. Checking to see what's happening with there after the short. Went with the buttons this time.
Sycho cautiously backs off. I say that, then he runs up and whips a command grab. Not quite on the mark.
I mean, he knows he has the right of way at that range, because if Ice Effect really wants to like look for thunderclaps or anything, Seismos come out. So all he has to do is wait. That gives him the right of way. Catching the low forward this time. Just patted the button, just walks up, takes the throw. Didn't need a command throw at that point. Why bother?
Indeed.
Looking to build a little more of that meter. He better do something about this. There we go, that's a good look.
All right. Can Ice Effect get it started?
Wasn't ready to, I was gonna say wasn't ready to confirm, but I mean, he hit the jab, just a little bit of a flow.
There's a little back and forth going on here. Nothing really substantial. But Sycho's the one who's on the worst end of it.
so far, but he's going to hit his V-trigger soon enough, and he has a critical, well, he had a critical art. He's going to go ahead and use it for some EX slashes, push him over to the corner. You want to talk about a big dash check.
All right.
And he was standing until the last second, so I wondered if, like, maybe he got caught out of the jump frame because there was no counter hit or anything.
Yeah, he possibly was jumping.
It's a sad thing to kind of see. Ice Effect will gladly take that. We take those. We take those. Neither one of them wanting to commit to any projectiles at that neutral because they know they have the meter to blow through each other. Ice Effect coming in and getting his rodeo throw. Looking for a DP, and I like that. The awareness to know that Sycho is willing to throw the DPs on his back. So he delayed before he went for the throw. Put them hands down.
You know, just a little staggering here and there.
Building up the white life as well, and he takes it away with the jab. Getting met with the sweep. Wasn't ready. EX Sunset Wheel looking so bright out there. And the fierce.
Didn't even have the V-trigger loaded up. That's how confident he was.
Why bother? Ice Effect getting one, but he still needs 5 more if he wants to bring the championship home to Georgia.
Yeah, he's been in this position before, fighting from the losing bracket. Grand finals, DreamHack, so hopefully he can be a bride, not a bridesmaid this time.
Oh, he wasn't in losers last time he was here?
Oh, that's right, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. We ain't worried about that guy. He ain't here right now. We got a Sycho on our hands.
Well, he's doing good so far.
Seismo again, checking the multi-dashes. Fall back. Something that we saw Sycho do quite a few times. Anytime he sees like anything slow in his face, like Thunderclap, I mean, that's the only thing we really need to worry about. Like, he's perfectly content to just giving up the space.
Ice Effect missed the big anti-air opportunity, and here's where we are.
I got all this room to work with. Let's see if you want to hang yourself.
Ice Effect, he's looking for an end for his V-trigger, but he keeps whipping it just the right amount.
All right. Gets a back throw, though. This could be a good start.
There we go.
Even on block, you take those, but yeah, a little too hasty to go to the Thunderclap. Sycho saw it a mile away, hit the deck, blew up his ankles.
Yeah, he kind of backed off there, probably looking for the DP, and it didn't work out.
Slides his way in, but wasn't ready for another back dash. Well played by Sycho to get his space again. Still working from a slight light deficit, but nothing too concerning right now. Especially since he has this V-trigger. If he can ever get it off, he's not going to get it off, not the way things are going. Gets the good block, and that's the break he needs.
He got it. But Ice Effect's loaded up himself. Well, not anymore.
No, he doesn't need it. Like, all he needs is a hit. He doesn't need to bother with V-trigger. Throw him out anytime he gets close. Tap him in the kneecap. Go ahead and get round 2. Good choice.
Yeah, Sycho usually has the same response to that situation, which is delay, jump over, then dive kick out. All right, here we go in the corner.
Jab again. Wasn't ready for the DP, but any anti-air is better than none, especially if you get to hold on to your space. Watch the block.
Now, I like the fact that Sycho was cautious enough to back off. At that point, I suspect had no meter. He was in the corner.
Right.
And I think he let him off a little too much. You know, there's such thing as too much caution.
Right. Things are starting to look really scary. Where have I seen this before? An errant Thunderclap right in the face of 3 blue bars. Critical Art taking a trip from the window to the wall, but he didn't think that Ice Effect would take to the sky.
And there's 2. 4 more. It feels like Sycho's the one kind of out of sorts, and he's the one trying to figure out how to deal with Ice Effect.
Like you just said, he still has 4 games if he needs it to get everything in order. It's been a while since we've seen him on the stage. Ice Effect, on the other hand, is still running his marathon, so he should be the one with the good start, in my opinion. Started that off by stopping the dash, and just the rhythm as we get carried over to the side. Tick throw into the sunset wheel, 1 for the sun. Where are we looking? Waited for the DP, and that might be the break that Sycho needs.
All right, clean anti-air. Oh, misses the dive kick and is thrown out of the landing coverage.
Doesn't have the time to get the DP out, but still okay is Sycho.
Let's see what's he gonna do with his B-gaze.
A little too far, gets jabbed up, thought he can get away. Good stand strong to keep the first round in check for SFV.
All right. Like, while Sycho isn't completely being dominated one-sided, it just feels like he's trying really, really hard to catch up to SFV.
Yeah. I don't know if the command throw was an error or he's just off in the spacing, but that's not good for him as well. He needs any meter he can get just to stop any trains from coming. Solid whiff punish from SFV. That's something I don't get to say about him very often. And that leads him to a reset. 3-0. Complete change from what we saw in winter semis.
Yeah, whatever it is that switched on, it came in right in time. So,
do more Laura things.
Do more Laura things. I mean, that's a big part of it, him turning up his aggression. And again, like, Necalli, while the characters operate similarly, Necalli doesn't have like a lot of the tools Sim has to just like constantly make her worry about mid-range.
Right.
If Necalli's in range to do something, usually she is too.
And that goes in the tail with the big whip punish that I was so happy about. Because, I mean, if that was Sim, we're talking about like a stand mid punch that reaches halfway across the string. But Necalli, that was a whip punish around the roundhouse. And that's the longest button he has.
Yeah.
Throw it toward Fierce over that, solid. Yeah, SFV is paying a lot of details of where Sycho is and what's on his mind. Case in point, as he jumps over a side note to start our reset here.
Yeah, a lot of that is, I mean, that's been the situation a lot here in this set.
Still jumping away. At some point in time, I don't think he's done it once yet. At some point in time, he's got to be willing to just jump over one of those, I believe.
I think he's spooked.
I mean, it's still a solid plan, but challenge him once, you know? I could be wrong. I could have missed one or two here and there, but it just seems like he's perfectly willing at any point. Well, there you go. My bad. Let me shut my mouth.
Well, here we go. So I don't know. I think he may have been looking for a throw, but I don't think she was really in range, and she didn't. And there was no meter for the EX.
Right. But it is a question of where Sycho's head is in the throw department because he's been off the mark with some of those. So spacing might not entirely be there right now.
All right, well, he's making a little comeback here.
Right.
But again, there he goes. He kind of backs off. Laura had no meter. At best, had a reversal.
Right.
Getting her off her B-gate is not necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all. Especially she's going to need to come back later on down the road.
So I think that's kind of telling right here where you see SFV. As soon as he gets an in, he presses the gas. While Sycho goes, okay, I got a little bit. Let me back off and see what he does.
You said you want to see the pedal to the metal with the V-trigger activation. Here we go. Chasing after the thunderclap. Taking another sunset wheel. Are we about to see another game go the way of SFV? Yes, it is. Patty cake jab to the face. And that is 4 games straight.
4 games straight. 4-0. A lot of things must be going through Sycho's mind. Like, I think right now he's just figuring out, what do I do? Where do I stand? What do I press? He's probably got it all swirling around. And he just runs back into the next game. So hopefully he's had something different to show us.
It's been a while since we've seen a DP come out of him, I believe, right? Just to like throw a wrench in SFV's game plan?
I don't remember seeing one during the set.
Like, he's got to do something when SFV gets started.
There again, there we see the backdash. Like, at this point, I'm more willing to see him die for trying to run his game and pressure on Laura, rather than dying slowly to neutral and then mix-up.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. But he had a little bit going with the EX command throw, but like you said, time and time again, he backed off. Gives SFV the chance to play the game that he wants to. And we still have Sycho fading all the way to the corner, waiting for an opportunity like this. Stepping up, what's the play? Looking for buttons one more time, nobody home, except for the low forward eventually.
All right, V-trigger's all up.
Trying to see if he can find the dash space and can't find it. But we do know where our EX elbows are. Now put that back.
There we go. Sycho waking up a little bit.
Sure wasn't the DP I was looking for, but a jab, just go ahead, mash it out. Better than nothing. Good enough to get the round. Good enough to break such a big streak of wins that SFV had. I need a couple more to come out of Sycho.
All right, gets caught doing that V-skill.
All right. EX wheel.
There we go.
Is that what it takes? So much pressure, a threat on your stun gauge? Is that where the DPs finally come out? But a good backdash to start things off. Maybe we can turn things around. Wanted a little too much with the command throw. Backdash returned by SFV, and here we are, 1-1 in game 2.
Like, it's funny, you see those things in neutral situation where he wants to dash up and do it or catch him by surprise. You never see it when he's actually hitting him and knocking him down.
Right. He's trying to pull the rug out from under him, but SFV is sitting so solid on stage. One more for
that
this
movement to just kind of whip punish him. Fade out a lot of his movements.
And that was one time in a long time that we've seen him try to go under the thunderclap. SFV just staying with it, allowing him to have the space, eventually catching him and getting himself one game away from a 6-0 sweep, one game away from a DreamHack championship.
Yeah, the thing just earlier on, we were worried about Atlanta just hanging into the competition.
Yeah.
And now he's about to take it all on.
Man, I want Florida to fight, yo.
Like, we were worried about SFV having the Necalli experience, but it's looking like the other way around.
I don't even think it's experience, really. Like, I mean, Sycho has game plans against Lord specifically. It's just his own strategy. Like you said, he doesn't seem to just want to run over SFV. I get this feeling that he wants to come across the guys like, I want this piece, I want that piece, I want cleanly. Just maul him. That's all we need. Another good block. See, that's Lord experience. You can't say he doesn't have it if he's not ready for overheads.
Had the punish on deck and everything. But, and then again, there you go. That whole sequence was him backing up to the end of the corner, to the end of the screen.
Right.
But DP closes it out. But he's still in a lot of danger here. Still got a lot of games to win. Yeah, SFV was the one who had a lot of games to win. Now the shoe's on the other foot here.
Right.
Comes in, punishes and sweep.
Rebellion getting punished as well. DP barely getting the clip and keeping SFV in the corner. That's a big DP that started off crush counter as well from the roundhouse. Yeah, give me some space, please. Let me breathe.
And that's what he does.
Oh, but he wasn't ready. He thought SFV was going to play on the ground, giving him a side swap. And again, just having to put the brakes on.
And it's funny, he just won like 2 sequences in a row and he decided to back up with V-skill. And that was ultimately his undoing there. But we're back in the same situation here.
Waited for the EX elbow and finally, 6 games in is where we get to say Sycho has won.
Yep, so we're looking 5-1. And so, yeah, you start to see a little bit more courage in Sycho's play and then start to pay off.
He's just got to hold on strong and get 2 more. SFV trying to see how much he can get in before the DPs rear their head one more time.
Hey, good uses of the V-skill. Stop the thunderclap.
High five, big fierce. Reset with the short as well. And we've seen this stun situation quite a few times. SFV can't convert again. Still in complete control and now threatening to take the round. Wasn't ready for the DP. Hello.
All right.
Nice.
SFV taking full advantage of the lack of meter there.
Skirting himself out of the corner. That's the first time we've seen that, but I mean, what does that really mean? Absolutely nothing. Just reminding us that that's a caveat of V-skill too. But he wasn't ready for the jump in, lulled him to sleep, went to the top with a big fierce of his own. Sycho.
Yeah, he tried to do something, but it was way too late.
Taking a page out of season 1 SFV. Oh man, we don't need to see him regress, not right now. He lets another jump and go and check. Hey, fool, that ain't even his, that's George's at this point.
All right.
Here we go.
Get a little shine.
I mean, a hard punch elbow would have been a lot better, but anything, just don't let him jump in for free.
Yeah, I expect showing a little bit more cautiousness in that little sequence.
Another good backdash. Not the biggest punish in the world. Stand forward, though. That's a lot better. And you want to talk about confidence, dashing in, taking an E at command from with a reset and blocking the V reverse. That's so huge. Wish you would have stayed on top of him, though. No thunderclap for you. What you doing off your back? Where you going? Long reach of the fierce.
2-2. He's about to run it back.
He might. He just might. He could have been setting him up, letting him feel so good and get 5 games only to steal the last 3. Both of them looking at their last game between them and a DreamHack championship. Who's going to take it? Ice Effect with his Laura, Sycho with his Necalli. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, Sycho's changes have done him a lot of good, but Ice Effect's not quite out of it yet.
And Ice Effect for Sycho, excuse me, started off, was looking at the thunderclap, falling back to his game plan, and eventually gets his forward. Getting back to what's held him together so far and a little bit of what got him momentum swinging in his favor. And you see, he's not fading so far. He's still backing up, but he's not taking like 2 or 3 back dashes. He's staying close enough to still be a threat to Ice Effect. Close enough to be 1 round away
from being tournament champion. Yeah, he's definitely slipping in more stuff like dash up lights, playing with Ice Effect's head there. But Ice Effect is corralled to the corner.
Oh, no. There it is. Jumping over the thunderclap, taking a good chunk of his life.
Ice Effect went from dominating to not quite sure what to do.
Not at all. The tides have been turning. Now he's got to find his way off his back. And he knows he doesn't want to use his V reversal if he can hold on to it. Luckily, he wasn't in range for that. And he has to. He had to get out.
He's got to make a lot of stuff happen here.
Ooh, block the V reversal, and then he gets a reset from the thunderclap. Fading back because he just doesn't want to get tagged. And that jab looks so scary. Gets a low forward. What else do we get? The block from Sycho is what he needs to stay alive.
Ice Effect was on the fast track to winning this tournament, and then he ran through a wall.
Yeah.
So congratulations to our DreamHack 2018 champion, hailing from Florida, Sycho.
Man, they got 2. How we let him get 2, man?
Congratulations to you, sir. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So that was a great top 8. We saw the 3 regions come together. Well, 2 regions. New York, Georgia, and Florida come together.